Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are jumping into my favorite cleansing balms. This is a topic that I get a ton of requests about, and today we're going to narrow down the top 5 best cleansing balms on the market in my opinion. So if that's something you're into, make sure to keep on watching and don't forget to subscribe because I upload every other day. That'll be the best way to stay up to date on all the fun stuff I'm posting. So if you want to jump into the best cleansing balms, in my opinion, stay tuned. Alright, so I haven't had makeup on my face in like 2 months because I was on vacation, then I got COVID, and then I just didn't feel up to it, and this is the first time I've had a significant amount of makeup on other than a tiny bit of concealer in like 8 or 9 weeks, so I was getting ready to take it off, and I had lined up all of my cleansing balms, and there's about 10 that I have, and I saw myself gravitating towards the same ones I always use, and decided to round up for you my favorites. So these are products that I have tested, retested, tested again, and in many cases repurchased. One I don't have with me, but y'all are gonna know what it is because I've been raving about it for years. So we're gonna jump into the best cleansing balms. Now I do wanna say that all of this is based on what I use when I wanna make sure I get every ounce of makeup off, that my skin is silky smooth. And I do wanna also take this with the caveat of a cleansing balm is not a cleanser. This is something that's emollient and oil-based that's going to remove any traces of makeup on my skin, but I'm still going to want to go in with a foaming cleanser after to make sure that every single ounce is gone, because the oil was going to remove all of that makeup, but there's still going to be some residuals there. So you want to make sure you are washing your face after. If you are just using a cleansing balm, you are not doing enough. Now the first one, I'm going to put an image on the screen because I do not have it. I recently finished it and have yet to repurchase it. It is the Pharmacy Green Clean. I have been using this on and off since about 2007, actually. So we're going on about 7. I meant to say 17, not 2007. Since 2017, so we're going on about 5 years of using that product. I've gone through many tubs of it. Every year they come out with minis that have different fragrances, and I love those ones too. And I've worked my way through the entirety of them many, many, many times. It was introduced to me in a BoxyCharm box, again, like 5 years ago, and it's something that has been a staple in my routine ever since. I love the smell, I love the clean ingredients, and it's just where I set the bar. That would have to be number 1. Number 2 I've been playing around with for about a year now, and I go back and forth to it. This is the Juno Skin Clean 10 Cleansing Balm. I did a video of this on Instagram. I've done TikToks with this. I've used this regularly. I will be honest, it is not this empty when you buy it. Like, my hand goes all the way down there, but I'm a neat freak, so before I filmed this video, I took a blowtorch just to melt down the cleansing balm so that all of them looked brand new and clean, but you can see that there's a decent amount of that has already been used up. This is my second tub of this, and I still really like it. Just not quite as much as I like the Green Clean. It is a very close second though. It has a very neutral but like citrusy scent. The Green Clean is just more clean smelling. This one, you do get quite a bit of lemon and orange and that citrus family, but this one's also quite a bit more affordable than the Pharmacy. There's really no losing. They're both fantastic. This is probably going to be the one I'm going to use today just because I am out of the Green Clean. But with the other 3 I'm going to show you, you cannot go wrong. Next, from the brand Versed, this is the Day Dissolve Cleansing Balm. This one has a very strong scent of eucalyptus, which is much more mild than maybe the Green Clean. Like, it's a mild scent, but eucalyptus is a very strong aroma, if that makes sense. So it's not overly fragranced, but it is a stronger scent. Now, this one I didn't really melt down as nicely, so it's not quite as pretty. But it does smell really nice. It does feel really nice and emollient on the skin. This one, being Versed, is also available in like Target. It's a lot more affordable than, say, Pharmacy or the next 2 I'm going to talk about, which are going to be more on the high-end and pricey side. But in general, they work really, really well. I do think that this one, I find, doesn't leave my skin as stripped as some of the other ones I've used. But as a result, I feel like I really need to cleanse, like double cleanse, because with this one, I feel like there's a little bit of a film on my skin. That being said, if I use a cleansing balm, I'll usually do it and then get in the shower. I'll wash my face in the shower, so I'm not really dealing with that film, so for me it's not an issue. But if you're someone who likes to cleansing balm and then just wash your face, rinse at night, and not do the whole, like, I shower in the morning and at night because I'm a crazy person, then it might be too much for you. At this point, I do want to honorable mention 2 products. Neither of them are cleansing balms. They're both cleansing oils. They are the Caudalie cleansing oil and the One Size makeup removing spray oil. Both of them are fantastic if you don't like that emollient feeling, but I like the emollients, which is why I tend to stick to the balms. Next, from Elemis. This is a brand new one, so I haven't opened this one yet, but when they sent me this, they also sent me 3 minis. I've already finished 2 of those minis. This is the Elemis Pro Collagen Cleansing Balm. I love Elemis. It's one of those skincare brands that just doesn't disappoint. Now, the one exception is when they have things I'm allergic to or Brandon's allergic to in there, but this is such a nice product. I will be opening this, but it has a very similar scent to the Green Clean where it just smells clean. Now, this one, you'll notice I did kind of try and melt the top, but it didn't melt as nicely. This one's more of like a lotion balm, whereas, I don't know if you can see in the Juno one, this is a true balm. Like, this is thick. This one will not fall out if I turn it upside down, but you will notice it's more of a liquidy consistency than this one, despite the fact that they are both balms. One thing I will say is the Elemis doesn't travel great. Now, the mini ones are nice, but the slightest change in heat and this will melt, whereas I find the Pharmacy Green Clean or the Juno Skin to be much more forgiving from a temperature standpoint. And the last one I have only used once, but it is still one of those products that I have really come to like already. This is the Milk Makeup Hydro Ungrip Makeup Removing Cleansing Balm. Now, I have the micellar version of this as well, which I love to use to remove eye makeup. And you know I've been a fan of the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. So the Ungrip is going to be just as good as the Hydro Grip. Helps to break down makeup, helps to dissolve things. This one reminds me a ton of the Green Clean. It's more of that thick balm, more of that emollient, as opposed to the alternatives, which do tend to be a little bit, I mean, you could just see, a little bit more on that like liquidy balm side. Not that that takes away from how good any of these are. I think you would be happy with any of them, but this one and the Juno Skin fall into that Pharmacy Green Clean realm for me, which has been a ride or die favorite for years. Now, I do just want to summarize by saying one thing, and that is what works for you, and don't make, my recommendations the end-all be-all of what you need to be using. The example I like to use is way back when I used to swear by makeup wipes. I have tried to eliminate any single-use items. I do have some single-use, like individually wrapped cleansing makeup remover wipes that I do take with me if I'm traveling, just in case the balm leaks or something and, these become unusable. But I try not to use a ton of single-use makeup removing wipes for that reason. So I do prefer the balms, but if you are a fan of the makeup wipes, continue to use them. Don't let anybody, myself included, shame you into using something that you don't like. I know a ton of people who don't like the texture of these balms and it makes them feel gross. And I get it, it's rubbing an oil on your face. I find when I use them that I feel extra clean versus using a wipe. But again, it all comes down to personal preference and what you feel works best for you. I would love to hear your recommendations down below. What cleansing balms that I spoke about today do you really like? Which ones do you think I was missing from my little roundup today that you think deserve to be mentioned? And let me know down below. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!